Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live stream here at Extreme Weather Videos. My name is meteorologist Joseph Pisani. Great to be here again with you guys this evening. You know what we're going to be talking about again tonight. We've still got Hurricane Mellissa out there, so we were going to be talking about that some more. We're going to be taking a look at the latest advisory that's come out as of 8 p.m. We're also going to be taking a look at some of the impacts that we're seeing across the Bahamas, what's going on across portions of Jamaica, and how you can help with the recovery. I want to welcome some of our team members here that are going to be joining us on the live stream. Rob Salso is here with us, and Stephen Jones are here with us. Later tonight, we'll have Dan will be joining us, as well as Mellissa as well. So, Rob, Stephen, great to have you guys here on the live stream. Let's go ahead and dive right in here. Rob, I see that you've got pulled up here the latest satellite picture of what we're looking at here with Mellissa. Still a fairly strong hurricane, and we've seen a little bit of resurgence and bit more organization here in the last couple hours. So what are our latest numbers looking like?
So I believe right now it's a category 2. We'll get into that in the advisory. As you can see here, we are seeing a convection burst right on the northwestern quadrant, and that's due to the water temperatures as well as the just the way the storm is, how big it is, and I think it'll be more of a larger system as it ejects due to the trough and like the atmospheric effect on it. You can see here on the top left, the cold front and the trough that's coming through that's going to eject this to the north-northeast. The only area I could see that's making interaction after the Bahamas is maybe Bermuda, but other than that, I don't think we're going to get any more impacts after tonight.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right on that. Really, this thing's about to start racing here off to the northeast. So that is definitely looking. We've already seen the increase in forward speed here throughout the day today. I know, let's go ahead and we'll take a look here at the latest advisory, take a look at the latest forecast cone as well. So let's go ahead and we'll jump over here to the National Hurricane Center. So here is where we are at. Let me pull up our latest advisory and image and everything like that. So you can see here we still have hurricane warnings in effect for portions of the central and southeastern Bahamas, tropical storm warnings for the Turks and Caicos Islands, a hurricane warning as well for Bermuda. As we can see, it is going to be making a pass here off to the north overnight on Thursday through early Friday morning is kind of when we're expecting it to pass Bermuda. So as of the 8 o'clock advisory, like Rob was saying, we've still got a 90 mile per hour hurricane moving off here to the northeast at about 16 miles per hour. And obviously we're going to be seeing a increase in the forward speed with that. Now, rainfall potential, we're still looking at an additional, 6 to 8 inches in some of these places across the Bahamas. Thankfully for Bermuda, this thing's going to be moving so fast that they're not going to get a ton of rainfall. They'll probably get maybe, 4 to 6 inches. The 2 to 6 inch is kind of what I'm thinking with how fast this thing's moving. It's going to be in and out pretty much in, couple hours, really, in all honesty. Probably within about 6 hours, it'll be through Bermuda and then heading off toward Europe. So that is definitely some good news as we're seeing the rain kind of coming here to an end. Even though, look at this, down in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, we still have the potential for another inch or two of rain on top of all the rainfall that they've already received. So quite the impacts. You can see looking at the wind history. I mean, look at that, Rob, how that wind field, even today, those hurricane force winds have kind of gotten a little bit bigger as we've seen that big flare up in convection, the storm like you were talking about. It's kind of elongated itself.
Yes.
So that's kind
And
of.
we're
Go ahead, Rob.
and we're still going to see indirect impacts to parts of the eastern seaboard. Rough surf, high wave heights. But other than that, we're pretty much through with U.S. impacts. There's not going to be any direct.
Yeah, definitely risk of rip currents that you can see here pretty much all up and down the East Coast. So when we looked at this last night, you'll remember that Florida was in more of a moderate risk. So now today and probably through tomorrow, it'll be more of a high risk of rip currents there across much of Florida, and then also over toward the Outer Banks with more of a moderate risk there across coastal Georgia and coastal Carolinas. So that is obviously one thing to note here. Probably the next 12 hours or so. So tomorrow, still not a good day to be out uh, at the beach at all, or in the water, or anything like that down there in Florida, with that high risk of rip currents for sure. So. Um, And then there's again our warnings, kind of a closer up view. It's been such an interesting path that this has
Yeah.
taken. Look at the zigzag there that Mellissa has taken. Like it was pretty much moving due west, and then it jogged to the north, and then it went due west, and then it went northwest, and then it kind of jogged back to the east, and then it went northwest, and then it went due west, and then it kind of came across Jamaica, and now it's been kind of on a more usual path, not quite as jumpy as it was now that it actually has a steering current with it. So we can definitely see that. Um,
Could show you guys the steering currents right now.
yeah, go ahead, Rob. Let's take a look at that. Let me pull this up here for you. All right, there we go.
So yeah, as you can see here, so you have your trough here that's going to help eject, and that's going to help lift the storm here to the northeast. It's kind of hard to see with the red. Let me try it with the black. So yeah, you can see this trough here. That's going to help dig the storm move to the northeast, and that's going to help it really have a good current as it goes, this direction. So that basically shows the direction of the storm and how fast it's going to go. You see these isobars, see how tight they are?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make it move very fast, and we'll be avoiding any U.S. interaction. That's why
Yeah,
we're saying that.
yeah, exactly. That's excellent analysis there, Rob. With that, so you
Yep.
can see that huge trough, and as that storm's kind of really going to be picked up by the jet stream there as it rounds the base of that trough and hits that speed max there. That's
Yeah.
why we're going to just see that huge increase in forward speed as the peak jet stream winds kind of begin interacting with Mellissa, which surprisingly still has tropical characteristics. I do believe it
Yes.
will become extra tropical probably tomorrow. We'll see
Yeah.
it kind of take on more of those extra tropical characteristics. We thought it might happen a little bit earlier, but surprisingly, it's actually it's you know has a warm core again. Still has a closed circulation and all of that. That's what the hurricane hunters found today. So
Right.
we'll have to see how much longer that will hold on.
And
So
it still has convection in the center of it too.
That's correct.
yeah, exactly. It really does. Really, really does. And I
And
know. Go ahead.
that's partially due to, as you can see here, these warm water temperatures that you see. I mean, you're still seeing low 80s, and that's still warm enough to have convection in the core. I mean, anything above 78 degrees, I'd say, is enough to have some type of system to linger on.
Yeah, that's really 80 degrees, 78 is a little low, but definitely 80 degrees. Once you get
Yeah.
out of that Gulf Stream current, you can see that the temperatures really drop off, and that's where it will definitely take on those extra tropical characteristics for sure.
Cooler temperatures that will cause it to be extra tropical, along with the jet max.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I don't know about you, but I have started kind of um, seeing a bit more video. Obviously, we're starting to see more come out of uh, you know, Jamaica and stuff like that from Robert Ray, Max Olson, even Brandon Clements posted a couple, and definitely the devastation that we've seen with this has
Yeah.
definitely been extremely severe, and it's going to be a long road to recovery for them. It's
Definitely.
not a wealthy country. One thing that really concerns me that I kind of saw too was how their agricultural areas got just really completely decimated. Is where some of the worst of the damage. One reason why it's not like Kingston per se is because that part of the island really is their breadbasket. That's where they grow all their
Oh yeah.
food for the island and stuff like that. And that being damaged so much uh, is definitely going to have long-term implications as far as how the humanitarian crisis really unfolds in the
Yeah.
coming weeks. So I think
Yep,
maybe you're
sure.
not hearing a ton about that now, but I do think we will start hearing more about that. In the coming days and weeks. I did want to show a video here from earlier, kind of from Fox News, maybe not Fox News, from Fox Weather, about kind of just seeing some of the humanitarian impact that we've seen here with uh, Hurricane Mellissa there uh, across Jamaica here. So check this out. They're saying we need help,
Yeah.
like just
Really.
you can see the muddy water there, in the
Yeah.
house there, and just man,
Mud's covering the roads too.
I know
Like it's
Very.
all over the place.
from the storm surge and coming off the mountains. I mean,
Wow.
there's
Look at
just no you can't really recover from that. I mean, it just has to be basically demoed, you know. Uh, just really, really, really hard scenes that we've seen today, coming out of Jamaica. So
Now,
it's
is this the area that made landfall, or like in the inner core, or what?
this here, I believe, is more on the Saint Anne Parish. I believe
Oh, okay.
is where this video was taken from. Which obviously that's the other thing, with river flooding and those types of things. It wasn't necessarily immediate. It took some time for that water to run off, and now we're seeing it getting into all these houses and everything like that
Yeah.
as it's draining, because things aren't built the same way as they are here in the U.S. So
Right.
definitely a hard scene to see for sure.
Yeah. Very unfortunate for all those people down in Jamaica. We're definitely
Yep.
praying for them.
Yep, it's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get I don't know why the audio from the video wasn't coming through here on the feed here. So give me just a second. I'm gonna bring us back here, Rob, to our Discord stream while I work on that before we get to the next video,
No
and I'll
problem.
let you guys kind of talk about that.
Yeah. Let's see what the infrared looks like here. Oh, yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is basically convection that's building, and you can see it expand, Stephen and everybody else, up to the north
Purple.
here. Yeah. You see that dark purple, and then it kind of spreads north? It's definitely becoming an elongated like shape, almost like a kidney bean. You'll see that a lot. You'll see that a lot with systems that have already interacted with a lot of land and has that warm core, like Joey was saying. So,
Yep.
we've seen that with plenty of storms. I think Erin this year was one of them.
Yeah, it definitely was. All right, I'm gonna try this video again, see if we can get audio on it.
It's hard to tell where the center is. I want to say somewhere in this area, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But I can't
But I
really
like-
tell.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. All right, I'm gonna come back to this video here that we were playing earlier because I got the audio working again. So
Alright, no problem.
thank you guys. So this is shown here in Jamaica. This is just showing residents that are pleading for help. This is from again Robert Ray, Fox Weather. It doesn't say here exactly where it's from, but I know he was in St. Anne Parish there in north central Jamaica. So I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
where, if that's in that parish or not. But let's check this out and just kind of get to see this firsthand here together.
And this is not good at the baby them day here. We need help. We're tired of this, Barry.
We have a 4-year-old.
We're tired of this.
4-year-old.
Look, man, we also baby them can't beard. No, we can't beard. We cannot style this. Eh? We need help. We need help. We place need to clear out. This not good. This can't go. Watch it. Can't go. Clear money water. Watch it. In our house? Come on, man. This not good, Barry. Yo, from last time nobody not sleep. Watch that. Watch that. Yo, idiot. Yeah, look, me shop everything. Like you have to get serious last time can't go help you, Barry. Yeah, watch out your tree. Watch it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a mess. Absolute mess there.
Look at all the power lines down.
Yeah, I mean things are just crumbled there. Roofs are
Yeah.
just like caved in.
Yep.
Look at that massive part of that tree right there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It is absolutely
Wow.
Yeah.
absolutely unbelievable.
This is just terrible.
Yeah, man.
I
Look
mean,
at that. Look at that tree.
Oh my
I
Lord.
know.
Yeah, right there.
This said way. This said way.
You have
We
this.
need help to take them out.
Homes
They
are
don't
waterlogged with so much water running in.
I'm gonna walk back out, okay? But thank you for showing me this.
Yeah. Imagine coming out of your house and that's your view right there, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back to our vehicle because we have a live report coming up, and we're gonna try to get this.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So, wow, that's just shows the devastation there that we're seeing.
Without falling.
Let's hope that we get more volunteers to go down there and help them out because
Yeah.
they need all the help they can get.
Yeah, I know United Cajun Navy's headed down that way. Samaritan's Purse, American Red Cross,
I
a
must say,
lot of
Joe,
these
weren't there a lot of
different
groups that were on
groups.
standby?
Yeah, there was probably a dozen or more national groups that were on standby. Even here in Georgia, Southern Baptist Convention Disaster Relief was already on standby. Um, so there, the good news is too. What else that I saw is that they're hoping to be able to get the Kingston Airport up and running tomorrow. Hope possibly. I don't know if
Oh,
that's a for sure thing.
hopefully.
But if they can do that, that is going to kind of help expedite the process of being able to get aid into a capital city, and then from there be able to distribute it to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So, but I mean that's just obviously Jamaica got hit the worst, but there's also going to be aid needed in eastern Cuba, even here in the Bahamas, like we're dealing with, right
Bermuda.
now.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly Bermuda, depending on how close it comes and what impacts that it has.
'Cause we haven't seen any photos or anything from Cuba yet, have we?
No, that's what I was trying to do a little bit of research tonight to see kind of what Cuban impacts were from Hurricane Melissa.
Well, they definitely got landslides because just the way it came in, and the mountainous terrain and everything.
And all the rain.
So obviously it came in Cuba as a Category 3. Yeah, it was a Category 3 when it hit. So, trying to see if some of these news stations out of South Florida have any information, because they're pretty well connected to Cuba. So flash flooding, storm surge. Yeah, airports in Jamaica to begin reopening. South Florida sending aid.
Did Turk and Caicos get spared? I don't think they got impacts. Probably besides feeder bands, right?
Yeah, really just feeder bands. They just had a tropical storm warning. Flooding from Hurricane Melissa has killed at least 40 in Haiti, per the Associated Press as of 3:30 this afternoon. 20 of those deaths were reported in the southern coastal town of Petit-Goâve, where another 10 people remain missing. So, yeah.
I mean, you could see it on the thing I'm showing. There's still a little bit of feeder bands down there. Not a lot, but still a little bit.
As of latest that I've seen, death toll in Jamaica so far is 8.
Wow.
4 bodies in southwest Jamaica. Man, 2 of the bodies washed ashore in the Black River community, but they haven't even been identified. There's a 35-year-old man, 64-year-old man found in Galleon Beach in the southern parish of St. Elizabeth. So that brings the death toll up to 8 as of earlier this afternoon. So
I feel especially bad for the people who don't have a shelter. Like, they don't have anywhere they can really hide besides outside.
yeah. Now, I did hear that there was significant damage to the airport in man, why am I blanking on the town?
Montego Bay.
Yeah. That airport sustained significant damage. So that one's I don't think is going to open for a while. But the Kingston Airport and there's a smaller airport that is up in St. Mary that was supposed to open earlier this afternoon, but they're not going to be opening to any commercial operations till tomorrow or Friday is what it's sounding like. So, I mean, Mayor's saying devastation's enormous. We need all hands on deck to recover stronger and help those that are in need at this time. They are saying that they're thinking of opening that airport in Montego Bay possibly tomorrow morning. I don't know where they're at.
I don't know about that. Hopefully.
Say it again,
I was
Steven.
just gonna say, getting across the country to the airport that's opening up tomorrow is going to be next to impossible for some people.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, obviously there's a ton, as we've seen, power lines, light poles, trees, just blocking road access all across Jamaica, not just the western half. I mean, even in Kingston and eastern parts of the island, there are downed trees and power lines. So...
Right.
And the only Wi-Fi that's anyone's getting there is if they have a Starlink device. Power is out, from what I've heard as well, is over 70% of the island is completely without power. So, yeah. That's kind of what I've seen.
Yeah. The center of Mellissa, by the way, I was just looking at Google Maps. It is to the south of Rum Cay and San Salvador Island, Bahamas.
Okay, so near San Salvador.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it still has, according to the last advisory, it still has 90-mile-per-hour winds, and it's moving at 16 miles an hour.
Yep. So it's a Cat 2, I think, right?
Yeah, still a Category 2. It is still a Category 2. Hopefully this will be we really need this to be the end of hurricane season this year after this, you know?
Yeah.
We do not need... We don't need any more land. If there's anything, we don't need any more landfalling, anything. Tropical storms, hurricanes.
Yeah.
You know.
That says a lot, because just this one event alone, it's just been, a lot.
Just completely devastating, to what's going on there in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So, man. Are they still alive?
One thing I've noticed about, usually after, at least in my experience, usually after, the last storm in November, usually is when it really gets less hectic, but you always have that November, tropical depression, tropical storm that may form, due to the small area of a cutoff low or something. So there's always a chance.
Yeah, there is.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Fortunately, we still have a whole nother month.
Yep. November 30th, the last day.
Yeah, exactly. We've got another month. That is huge.
Hopefully it goes.
And we have seen storms in
November.
In November, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely have.
That I remember is 2020 Hurricane Iota.
Oh yes, I do remember that one.
Yep.
That was really something else.
It was one of the strongest November hurricanes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That was during that season where we had the most named storms, I think, ever.
Yeah, that was when we were, it was 28, I think it was 28 storms that year.
Yep. Something like that.
So, yeah, it was insane.
Went through the Greek alphabet almost.
Yeah, we were halfway through the Greek alphabet.
Yep.
So, meanwhile, here today's just been an absolutely ugly day here in Georgia. Just cold, rainy, misty weather. Obviously the good news is with us having this huge trough here across the eastern U.S. That's what protected the United States from having any Mellissa impacts. Because imagine if we didn't have that trough in place and this thing had just kind of had it made that northern turn. I mean, it likely would have been a Gulf hurricane coming up into the Gulf Coast, most likely. So if this had been 4 or 5 days ago, it would have been a completely different story,
Yeah.
So, I mean, U.S., dodged a bullet. I mean, just off the coast of Miami right now, there's still a Category 2 hurricane. So, it's hard to believe, that trough in front came to our rescue.
Sure did.
Yep. And on that image, Joe, you can even define the trough. I mean, you can see it just from the clouds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, take a look. Where is it?
You could tell like how dark it is too. Like you can just see the dry air in between the layer of the clouds.
Yep. I always am in awe when I'm looking at different satellite imagery of these hurricanes.
Especially yesterday and the day before. I mean, yeah.
And I like the visible satellite image because you can definitely see
The inside of the eye.
Yeah, and the clouds go in different directions, so you can tell where the winds are shearing and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I like visible
versus the infrared.
Yeah.
You just get
Water
get a lot more detail. Yeah, the water vapor one is useful too, because then you can really see where the dry air and see any entrainment and stuff like that into the storm. So
you could see like a cirrus field too, like north of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But definitely a fortunate situation here for Florida. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, you can clearly see all this dry air over central and south Florida on this the water vapor imagery here that I've got up on weather-wise. I think
that's the only thing standing between them and Mellissa.
Yeah, exactly. Let's put this in motion. See how
the pressure is drop. The pressure is dropping here. I can tell because like usually when you have a low or a trough, you can tell like by the clouds and the dry air that the trough's coming.
Yeah, I mean you can see the base of the trough right here across the northern Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
it's still digging south.
Yes.
Which is just insane. You can see the spin pretty much the center of that's basically just north of me. We just had right there in Atlanta. I mean we're basically almost clear. It's almost all off to our east. So we've had actually, believe it or not, when I was driving home earlier, we had a ton of fog, low-level fog kind of vecting through. So once this kind of clears out, we're probably going to really start getting some of that drier air moving in here, but behind it. But
They said tomorrow here it might be a little foggy in the morning when we wake up. A little patchy fog.
Yeah.
Well, here in Norman, we were nestled between a low
It's
and a
low
high,
level.
and the winds were the right place at the right time to be really
Mid-level,
windy today.
upper level.
Yeah.
You can see the difference between the upper level, the mid-level, and the low-level moisture and dry air. Like,
Yeah.
just amazing. And then there's your clean infrared view of it. Yeah, still got Long Island getting some pretty good impacts right now from it. I think I think that is that Cat Island? One of them's Cat Island. When I saw that, I'm like, really? Cat Island? This is Long Island. I think this one here is Cat Island. And then you got this over here as well. Getting some pretty good activity from it.
One website I really like is the COD website, especially for models and like seeing the satellite imagery and all that.
Yeah, there's some great resources out there for sure.
Yeah.
So you can even see a little bit of rain here off the coast of Florida there, off the east coast, a little
See
bit.
that. I like a residual front or something.
Yeah, some overriding moisture probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, probably. I think the front's supposed to come in like mid morning and
I mean,
tomorrow
here's-
afternoon.
here's the model of it. You can see there. So I mean, it's gonna move pretty quick off to the northeast there.
Yeah, I see that.
Get pulled into that trough.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's going to be interesting though because we also have to keep an eye on the northeast. I know there's a marginal risk tomorrow for some severe weather across portions of I think it's the Outer Banks and up into New England area. Let me pull this up real quick.
By the way, hey Dan, I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Dan, good to have you on here
Good evening.
tonight. Yeah, there is a marginal risk tomorrow here across the mid-Atlantic. So with a 2% tornado risk. So it's going to be interesting as Melissa's kind of moving away, kind of seeing some of that moisture from it, in a sense,
Right.
getting trained up into that area here. Let me pause it. So you can see right here, you've got this band of moisture.
See that? Yeah.
And really, then you have this broken band of storms is going to be coming through as well. And this is going to kind of ride up and over basically into New York.
Right.
And kind of conglomerates right there in and around New York and stuff like that. So
Plus you got the low level shear still from the from up there, so you might get possibly a tornado.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's going to support the tornado risk.
yeah, that's why SPC put out I mean, it's low, but it's not. It's there, 2%.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, I mean,
Could see maybe a water spout possibly, or
yeah, I could see a water spout. That's a good point, Rob. Right here off the coast, like off of Virginia Beach in that area, there could be some water spouts out there. That's kind of like almost like a QLCS water spout.
yeah, for sure. Like embedded into a little line.
Yeah.
Kind of saw that in Florida last week. Well, not last week, but a few days ago.
And good evening, Mellissa. Welcome to the live stream. Dan, Melissa, great to
welcome.
have you guys on. We're watching, right now we're talking about kind of some of the impacts that Melissa's having, not only across the Bahamas and eventually Bermuda, but even how with the interaction, how we've got a little bit of a severe weather threat tomorrow up in portions of the mid-Atlantic up into, Philadelphia, Washington, Virginia Beach, those areas. So with that system coming through, even a 2% tornado risk tomorrow. So I'm like, that's pretty interesting how you get the interaction of two completely different systems.
Right. Yeah, because you have the upper level low and you have the storm itself.
Yeah. But looks like they're gonna hopefully reopen Kingston Airport tomorrow and try and start getting some flights in there. What have you guys seen? I mean, I kind of showed you some of the stuff that I've seen, but Dan, Mellissa, have you guys heard any interesting reports or seen anything?
I think it was it Santiago, Cuba? From what I understand, got hit really, really hard. I'm still trying to catch up. I was at work all day.
Yeah, that was one thing I was having a hard time was trying to figure out. I hadn't really heard anything about Cuba today, so
Yeah, that was the only report that I think it was. I know we were talking about last night. It was one of the main cities there on the coastline. Was hit and, from what I understand, took some really big, devastating damage.
Man, it's terrible.
Santiago de Cuba, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I knew
Is
it
that-
was something like that.
Is that I wasn't here when it made landfall. Is that where it made landfall?
I don't know if where exactly. I think it was around that area.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find anything out. Give me just a minute.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
A second. I'm trying to get my AirPods to work right. Sorry.
Oh, there's
Very
Dan.
good.
I was literally just about to message you, be like, "Whoa, where'd you go?"
No, I wasn't. Didn't mean to rage quit. I just trying to get my one AirPod that's working good and the other one that's not. So I was trying to fix it. Hurry.
No problem.
But no, I didn't really see anything today. But I wasn't really looking either. It's kind of a long day at work.
Here.
Yeah, same here. I know the feeling.
It looks like I'm looking at the weather hazard map. It looks like that's coastal flood advisories up there were parts of New Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, those areas.
Yeah, I did hear that. I think we're up. Speaking of that area, Rob. What is it? Buxton, North Carolina. That area.
Yeah.
We're up to, I think, 16 houses there now that have been destroyed from the coastal flooding and erosion and all of that. I think
wow.
another one fell today. Think I saw something about that. So,
Yeah.
and that we were talking about the rip currents and all of that earlier. Even though Mellissa is, so far offshore, it still does have those kind of impacts up and down the East Coast. So that's going to again exasperate, some of those issues as well. So, but hopefully this will be our last hurricane that we have this year. I mean, 5 hurricanes this year. I think we had four major hurricanes. And 3 of those this year, 3 Category 5 hurricanes this year.
Yeah, we had
You know,
Aaron, Mellissa, and one.
Was it Umberto?
Yeah, I think it was Umberto. That sounds right.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting too because it's one of those years where really we haven't been in a La Nina or an El Nino. We've basically been in neutral phase. Obviously, now we're transitioning basically, and we've transitioned into La Nina here for the last month of hurricane season. But overall, there's not. It's not necessarily due to that. It's more just the current weather pattern of the time and abundant, moisture and Caribbean Sea just completely open for business, untapped water, whereas you think of something even like last year, I think of like, Helene and Milton, obviously,
Right.
how you had those 2 back to back, but there was that cooling, that brief temporary cooling that you would see in the Gulf of Mexico, especially close to the coast.
I think another thing too is the CAG, the Central American Gyre, was very active last season.
Yes.
This season, I haven't seen it as active, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember earlier in the month of October, there those couple areas that they would watch, that they
Right.
may put like a 30% possibility or 40% or whatever, but nothing ever materialized from it.
No.
So,
You think it was like the shear or just the neutral pattern or what?
yeah, I mean, I think shear was part of it.
The waters were warm. I mean, there was
Yeah, but
high 80s.
yeah, but nothing could really get organized before before the disturbance, if you want to call it that, would interact or move over land.
Yeah.
So
Everything's kind of been, Eastern Atlantic forming for the most part.
yeah, we've had a ton this year. If you really think about it, this hurricane season, we've had a ton of more than the last few years of a lot of these, cross Atlantic storms. Obviously, so many of them curved out to sea or would curve up and hit Bermuda. I mean, poor Bermuda, has just been hit over and over again this year. Thankfully, not like they were hit by a Category 5, like Jamaica was, but still, it has been an active season. Hasn't been. I wouldn't say that this has been a dull season by any means. Maybe a less active landfalling season, yeah.
Yes. I
But
agree.
not a less active overall season. Would you guys agree?
I agree.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Welcome back. I was looking at the hazard map and I noticed it's a tale of all thirds of the country. The West, you got dry conditions, got a couple small, red flag warnings. The Central, you got this, cold air coming in and really windy conditions. And then the East, you got just rain and some flooding and now a cold core coming down.
Yeah. You bring up a good point. I mean, the pattern has just been rather interesting.
Yeah.
Like you were just talking about. I mean, we've got this huge ridge just kind of building in the west. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. And you can see, look at all these warm temperatures out west. Meanwhile, in the northeast and here in the east, it's cool. I mean, we're going to start seeing a return, but I mean, even in places like where Dan's at, up there in Wisconsin, I mean, you're gonna see a good bit of a warm up. I mean, what was it up there today, Dan? Where you're at? I'm curious if you were warmer than we were here in Georgia today. You might still be having some microphone issues. What about you, Mellissa? How's things been at where you're at there?
I woke up this morning and I was like, it's cold. It was, from what I remember, it was like it was in the low 40s. We have a freeze warning in Midland, and like we don't usually get that until like November. But
Wow.
next week it's supposed to pop back up to the 80s.
Wow, talk about a drastic temperature change.
Yeah.
Normal stuff around here.
Sorry for the
Yeah.
hopping in and out.
Yeah,
No,
but
you're good, Dan.
today I think our high was around 63 is what our high was.
Wow, yes, it was nicer there than it was here. For sure. I think that this is going to be, I do think this is going to be quite a unique winter. I think this is going to be one of those winters where we are going to have everything. We're going to have the severe weather. We're going to have the ice storms. We're going to have the snowstorms that dump feet of snow in some places. I think this is going to be one of those all-around winter storm years.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
For December, January,
Yeah.
February.
I agree with that as well.
Well, one thing I can say is we've lived in West Texas for going on 3 years now. This is our third winter, something like that. But out of the whole time that we have lived here, I have never seen the leaves actually turn colors.
Oh, wow.
Except for green or dead. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and this year, so we actually, with all the rain that we've gotten, everything is still green here. It's weird. Like it is
Yeah.
very, very kind of eerie, strange, because it makes me think that we are just going to have one hellacious winter because it's been very mild. We only hit over 100 a couple of times this during the summer, and we were in the high 80s, 90s through most of the summer. And I mean, usually our temperatures go from like 100 to 110, 120.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've been basically in a flash drought the last month and a half. As you can see here, this is the drought outlook.
Until today, it's been raining there.
Yeah, exactly. Really, the last 3 days. Monday, believe it or not, we got over 2 inches of rain on Monday.
Wow.
It was our
Oh, wow.
first day receiving over an inch of rain since August 19th. If
That's a while back.
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it's been dry here. Today we didn't get much at all today. It was basically a mist all day today. We didn't actually get any substantial rainfall. Maybe altogether, I'd be surprised if we got a tenth of an inch. In all honesty, maybe a tenth of an inch. Not a whole lot. And now we're kind of gonna, go back to a good bit of a dry spell. So you can see it's still kind of supposed to be drier than average across a good bit of Georgia, but hopefully we'll get some relief. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely struggling in the rain department down here in the southeast right now.
So did Mellissa make its way through the Bahamas?
Yeah, Dan. It's basically over the Bahamas right now. Rob.
That's what I see here.
Yeah, Rob's got the satellite imagery there pulled up, so it's starting to pull away though. But interestingly enough, it was really ragged, like really, really ragged when it came off of the coast of Cuba this morning. I mean, it was elongated. What they called the eye, which wasn't really an eye, but it was the main center of circulation I think was like over 50 miles wide. But now it's actually kind of recondensed and gotten itself a little bit better organized. Its interaction with the trough has kind of helped with that, interestingly enough.
Yep.
What did it actually was it a 3 or a 4 when it hit?
It was
Cuba?
a category 3 when it hit Cuba.
I thought it was a 4.
I thought, pretty sure it was a 3. I think it was a high end 3 when it hit. I think it was 1.
Okay.
At least I've seen a report that it hit as a 3 on AP News, saying that it came in as a 3.
Yeah. I mean, the gust might have been 4, definitely, but I didn't know. I thought it was a 3 or 4.
And from what I've seen so far, there's not a whole lot of information coming out of Cuba, but it looks like it did make landfall right around Santiago de Cuba.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of power outages, like I was talking about earlier, here it is. 77% of Jamaica was without electricity pretty much as of noon today. I haven't seen any updated numbers on that. Yeah. Yeah, right here. Here it is. Mellissa hits Cuba as a Cat 3 after leaving extensive damage in Jamaica. That was 11:26 a.m. this morning. So.
Oh, you were talking about the Sands Resort in Jamaica. It did get hit. It had some damage, but actually it fared pretty well considering, the Cat 5 and everything.
Yeah, it was on the more on the western side of that eye wall.
Yeah.
So, which western to eastern is honestly is really a major difference. Because of the forward motion of the storm, the western side of the eye wall, you basically, I mean, obviously it wasn't moving very fast, but it kind of, in a sense, decreases the impact on the western side versus the eastern side because Coriolis force and all of those things kind of come into play. I'm not going to nerd out on it too much, but it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of happy in a sense to see that.
You know what I think I saw was that it got back to a 4, then it was a 3 when it did hit Cuba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it did briefly hit Category 4 status again but then when it actually made landfall, it was a 3.
Yep. So that's what I was remembering. My fault, but it did get back to a 4 after Jamaica before Cuba.
Yeah.
It hit Cuba as a 3.
Yeah.
Still there?
Yeah. Oh no, I was I was asking earlier, how's the weather been? Joey was asking us how the weather was, and I didn't like how warm or cold has it been there?
Oh, 40s, highs in the 50s, cooling down. But that's about our normal right now.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty average fall, I would say.
Yeah.
But we could see snow at any time, particularly overnight, but we haven't yet.
Yeah, I remember your last winter was pretty dry, snow-wise, I remember.
Yeah, there was like 2 snowstorms, really. One I had to plow, and the other one I did just because I could. It wasn't that much. It was a pretty dry winter last winter, and from what I remember, aside from a solid week where it got bad in like the single-digit highs, it was relatively mild the rest of the winter. We had like 1 week, maybe week and a half, where it got real cold, and that was it.
Wow. Yeah, I think this
Yeah,
winter's
we
gonna.
got super lucky last year. I don't think we're gonna.
I
get
don't
that
think you're
lucky
gonna
this year.
get that this year. Yeah, that's what I was just about to
Yeah.
say.
No,
So
we enjoy those when they come around, and we cherish them and remember them.
yeah, but like, oh,
Well,
the
just
good old
send the
years.
snow down to West Texas. We'll take it.
You can
Yeah.
have all you want.
Yeah,
I
I'm not.
weirdly think. Go ahead, sorry, Joe.
Go ahead, Rob.
I weirdly think that the central U.S. might get a lot of snow this winter.
Yeah, I think the Dakotas are gonna get pounded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Agree.
Like, I think there's gonna be some insane blizzards there. I mean, you want to go blizzard chasing? That's the place to go this year. So, Dan, I'm not sure if you were on. You were asking about if we had seen any other updates. I had mentioned this earlier, but there were reports from the Associated Press that in Haiti there have been at least 40 people that have died as a result of the flooding there in Haiti.
In Haiti?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So 40 in Haiti. Death toll as of earlier this afternoon in Jamaica is 8. I haven't seen any update to that number. That was, I think, as about around 3 o'clock earlier in Jamaica. So that's kind of the latest that I've seen on that. Let me see if I can find any update on that.
I would have figured, if anything, those numbers would have been the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
8
Haiti's
in Jamaica. I mean, don't get me wrong, 1 is
Yeah.
too many, but 8, that's for the size of storm that went through.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure there's going to be a ton more.
could be.
I just don't think right now. I don't think they've been able to really get to that part of Jamaica.
Right.
They're on the western side of the island. I think, tomorrow once they start getting, planes and helicopters and stuff like that, and they kind of, in a sense, start dropping people on the western side of the island, because you're not going to be able to get there by road. Get some boats over there into Montego Bay, and then try and forge your way south. I think that's when they'll really start being able to see what the true impacts are down there. Because that's the other thing, like that part of Jamaica, Southwest, it's so rural. Like there's really, other than the few resorts that there are, there's really not any like major town or city there. They're mostly just like small villages, really agricultural area like we were talking about earlier. And that's going to be a huge impact is a lot of Jamaica's food supply comes from the western side of the island with all of their farms and stuff like that. So the impacts to them being able to sustain themselves in the months ahead is going to be pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw that. I saw a couple of pictures coming out of St. Elizabeth, and they were just. I mean, there was no trees that were left with leaves or bark, or it looked like a war zone.
Yeah. CNN saying at least 30. But is that? I think that's across all the Caribbean. Oh, so yeah, 20 of the people that died in Haiti was the result of a river that had flooded there. On the Black River in Jamaica, there were bodies that were found there on the river and on one of the beaches there in St. Elizabeth Parish.
Yeah, that's the area that we were eyeing up the night before landfall.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, I know Haiti was getting
Olive Garden's
flooded
never-
before it even made landfall yet.
Mm.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, I think, before we actually, get the
The full
actual
story.
death toll and everything.
Yeah, that's unfortunately probably going to go up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll take at least a week before we really start getting an idea of it.
Let's
So
go.
I would be very surprised if it doesn't go up a whole lot.
yeah, I could see it getting easily into the hundreds, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What, summer temps?
No.
Well, the summer temps, maybe. I don't know if we're
you.
talking 400 degrees, Rob. I don't know,
didn't hear,
man.
I didn't hear what happened
No.
last minute.
We're talking about the death toll in Jamaica.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Saying, yeah, I could see it getting up into the hundreds.
So, I am so sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're good. But I don't know. Obviously, like Montego Bay, I think a lot of it's going to come from a lot more of these rural agricultural communities.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I think along some of the rivers, anything in, mountainsides where you had landslides and debris flows that we don't even know happened, that happened. Those are the type of things that's probably going to happen. And sadly, there's probably going to be even people that, may honestly just not be found, in some of those more rural areas. So, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, the pictures that I was looking at from St. Elizabeth, I mean, it reminded me of like how the water had flowed and everything. It reminded me of Hurricane Helene, what it did in the Carolinas and that, because there was just these big divots and everything in the roads, and the roads were washed away. It looked bad.
Yeah, I actually know some people that actually were just up in Asheville, this past weekend, and they were saying you can still, even in like Swannanoa and that area that was so heavily damaged, like you can still see a lot of damage. They have built back, in places like a Chimney Rock and some of those communities, have a lot of buildings, but like, the tree damage and even the river, that kind of was flowing through there. They were saying, really like now it's only a 10 to 12 foot wide river. It's almost like just like a little ditch, so when you think about that, you're like, man, that thing was just, 30 feet of water, Yeah. It's just...
I mean, because I know going, being in Eastern Tennessee when we lived there, I went through that area a lot because that's where I used to go hiking. And that river was not that big. And when I saw those pictures come from Helene, I was just like, that can't be possible. Like, it was just so much bigger than what it normally is.
Yeah. It's definitely one that we will never forget, And sadly, it seems like every year now, there's one that we will never forget. Just like Mellissa now is going to be one that 20 years from now, we as, weather enthusiasts and meteorologists, storm chasers, will still be talking about. Man, do you remember when Hurricane Mellissa, hit Jamaica and how terrible that was? And, that's forever changed that nation,
Oh, definitely.
Same with my mind's blanking. Helene.
Yeah.
And Harvey and all of them.
Yeah. And Irma and Milton. you know,
And Florence.
Florence and Floyd and Andrew, you know, and Katrina, you know. I mean, we probably almost have, you know, um, you probably could go through the alphabet and almost have a storm for every letter of, man, we'll never forget this one,
Yeah.
you know, Camille,
Definitely.
you know, Dorian, you know, just every
Wilma.
letter, Wilma, I mean, all the way through to letter W, you know, like it's
Yeah.
like there's one for that letter. So, but hopefully in the coming weeks, our live streams here will be, you know, hopefully a little bit more lighthearted and not quite as heavy as these last couple have been. But I mean, that's kind of why we do this, you know. We exist to get the word out, you know.
Right.
And you know, do what we can in our scope, you know, across this country to help keep people informed, you know, keep them engaged. Raising awareness, I think, is key. You know, just getting better at our messaging, helping people really understand what they're looking at, what they're seeing, with the different, you know, images and graphics and radar and, you know, satellite pictures and stuff
I
like
was
that.
just gonna say, look at the equipment. How much better the equipment is just now versus 10 years ago. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
when I can go onto my phone
Yeah.
and zoom in on a radar and be able to tell where a tornado is within a mile, I mean, that's something special, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, when I started storm chasing, phones weren't a thing for that. And it was like, oh, there's a storm over here. Okay, let's go, you know, and see if something drops or not.
Yeah, see if
And
it's still there when we get there.
Right.
yeah,
You had to
exactly.
rely solely on what you're seeing and not radar.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like that in as far as storm chasing, you know, that has helped me many times because I still don't, even though I have the access to the radars and everything else like that, I rely more on what I'm seeing visually than
Right.
relying on that radar because that's how I, you know, learned and grew
Right.
as a storm chaser.
Yeah, the radar when you're storm chasing, you always have to have in the back of your mind, this is old data. You know, what you're seeing in
Hmm.
front of you is live and current. You know, when I'm looking at a radar image, I'm thinking, okay, this is, you know, 5-7 minutes old. Where is the storm right now? Where's it going? You know, so kind of good tool to help you anticipate, you know, looking at the trend. Is this storm, you know, building momentum or is it losing momentum? So
Yeah.
definitely, but Dan brings up an excellent point, you know, and this is available now in the palm of everyone's hand. You know, even something like as great as WeatherWise here that we now use here at EWV, you know, completely free. Anyone can just open up a web browser or download the app on their phone, which if you haven't, I would recommend you do that. I'm just going to go ahead and plug that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because not only do we have, you know, now the radar, but we also have the satellite images, the models,
Yep.
all the different outlooks. It's all in one place. It's available to everyone. So that's why, you know, and we'll probably do another one of these, I'm sure, is kind of going over, you know, some of these different features of, you know, a software service now like WeatherWise, so that you, as the general public or an up and coming weather enthusiast or storm chaser, know what you're looking at, how to use it, and how to interpret it. So
Right.
it's gonna be pretty cool. Believe it or not, I don't know if I told you guys this, but in January, I am actually going to be teaching a 1-week course at the school where I work. We're doing
wow.
what's called a J term, January term. So some kids are going on, you know, internships. Some kids are going on different trips down to Miami or Orlando, or I think there's a trip going up to New York. And then the kids that aren't going on trips or doing an internship, they're offering different like hands-on workshops and courses and stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing a course on storm chasing and storm chasers and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So probably one of the days, what I'm going to try and do is hop on a call here with, some of our team and allow the students to be able to kind of, ask you guys questions and stuff like that. And, maybe hear some of your stories of, what storm chasing's been like for you. And I'm going to be teaching them, here's the radar. Here's some of the different tools that we're using, when we're out there storm chasing. Here's how we forecast where we're going. So I'm really excited about it. It's my first time, getting to do something like that. I think I'm going to have up to 15 8th through 12th graders is what it's opened up to.
That's cool.
I'm really, really excited to get to offer that.
I love that. That is awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm sure.
Well, just let me know when it is and I'll jump on.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely will. And and that's the thing. I love educating people. I think that's the more that I've been doing this, I think that's in a sense like one of my gifts is obviously I love storm chasing. I love being out there in the storm, but I also just like educating, teaching people, sharing knowledge and the community of it all. I love the community, and that's why, EWV's, so great because we have some of the greatest people here. So I appreciate all of you guys, being willing to hop on a stream here with me and talking about the hurricane and just being real with everyone here online. So if you're looking for a place, guys, if you're watching this or maybe you're watching this back later, and you're looking for a team, a group to join, check us out, extremeweathervideos.com. We'd love to get connected with you. Connect with us here on our Discord server. Links in the description, and you can be a part of this call. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, good news is Mellissa is moving away from the Bahamas. Bermuda's going to have a quick brush by. I don't think it's going to be too terrible impacts for them just because of how fast it's going to move through. It's obviously going to get windy. They're going to have sustained tropical storm force winds. They're going to get a few inches of rain. But if there's one place that's built for hurricanes in a sense, Bermuda is kind of that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're well prepared up there for this, especially after having been through what they've already been through this hurricane season.
How fast is she moving right now?
Last
15,
update, 16 miles per hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's booking it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to Bermuda, it'll probably be, I'd think like 25 miles per hour, something like that. It's gonna be moving through quick. So I think it'll be
And
somewhere
when is
between
that projected to be?
tomorrow evening is when it's supposed to pass by Bermuda.
Figure it's got quite a bit of a ways to go. Right. Okay.
Yeah, their Bermuda high has been non-existent.
Yeah. It's the Bermuda magnet. I think they have a Bermuda magnet this year.
Yeah. I just think the Bermuda high has either been A, more south or east, or B, it's been weaker.
Well, it's definitely been weaker, which is one reason why a lot of these storms have, kind of curved out to sea that we've seen this year. It's been weaker, and yeah, it's definitely been a little bit further to the south than you would typically. Well, not typically, but than we're used to seeing when you think of the Bermuda high. So that's definitely had a impact on the path of this year's hurricanes and storms.
Yeah, I think the biggest question now is, are we going to get any more?
Yeah, that is definitely, I think, the question that is on everyone's mind for sure.
Yeah.
I love this nighttime satellite imagery, you know, seeing all the lights of the cities and stuff like that. It's just like, so cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you look at the full disc image, it's like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
Well, over on the Discord side, I can't really see your screen. It just says Discord.
Oh,
Right.
hold on one second. There you go. Ta-da!
Yeah, thank you.
So, I don't know.
Oh, I have a question for you
Uh-huh.
guys, since it doesn't really happen here, but especially where Dan's at. How's the fall colors been there?
Oh, up by me, we're already past peak.
But
Oh, okay.
did you have a nice fall colors this year?
Oh yeah, I
Because
think so. We didn't really have too many big windstorms right before, or right at peak, where it knocked all the leaves off.
that's nice.
So yeah, it was pretty good up here.
It's definitely, I think, because of the drought down here that we've had, we're not having a pretty fall. It's pretty much leaves are going from green to yellow to brown and falling off. So we're not getting,
Yeah.
the bright vibrant colors here where I live.
No.
Now, last weekend when I was coming back down from Ohio, there I saw some really pretty fall colors in Kentucky and Tennessee and Western North Carolina, kind of those, well, Eastern Tennessee. But then I was like, man, I got home and I'm like, oh, we're gonna have really nice colors next week. You know, it's coming. And I got home and I'm like, oh, the leaves are yellow and now they're just brown and dead and falling off the trees. So I'm like, yeah, and that's what happened. This isn't the first fall where it's like that, but it's like, man, we're basically just going straight from summer to winter. It's just like
You're getting to experience
skip
Texas
fall.
falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been actually kind of nice being able to look at something, that's not, it's nothing like I had in Tennessee, but I mean, it's better than, green and brown.
Yeah.
You mean green and
Trying to see if I took one.
I feel like, a lot nowadays, especially out west, like parts like Texas and Mexico during the winter. Like it'll get cold at night, but like get to 80 degrees during the day.
Oh yeah, that's the way it's going to be next week. We're going to be down in the 50s.
Yeah. That's how it is
And
here.
then it's supposed to be like, I think 80, I think they're saying like 85 is a high for sometime next week. And we've been in the 40s and 30s for our lows this week. Only in Texas.
Everything's better in Texas is what they say, right?
I know, like in eastern Colorado, it happens too.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives just south of Frederick. I'm not sure if you know where it is, but it gets like 70 degrees during the day, but nights like 20s in the winter.
Yeah, that's just, it's hard to believe those temperature swings that you get out there,
Yeah.
And then you even think of, places like in the desert and stuff like that where it can be, 90 degrees during the day and then like 30 degrees at night. It's like, oh my goodness, I could not do that,
We had that happen a couple of years ago where it got up to 90 and our low was like 39. It's
wow.
What? Why?
That's a big contrast.
Oh, yeah.
But I bet it's like dry, because if it was like humid, it would just be like 80s at night, right?
Yeah, it's very dry where I'm at in West Texas. once you start getting towards like Austin, Dallas, Houston area, you don't get that big drastic. You get a change, but it's not as drastic as it is out
Right.
here.
Yep.
Like I always tell everybody, if you've been to Texas and you've been to Austin, Central Texas, North Texas, East Texas, going West Texas is like a whole nother state.
Yep. Well, looks like most of our rain's finally through here in Georgia. So I cannot tell you how glad. I hope I get to see the sun tomorrow, because I haven't seen
Yeah.
it like the last 3 days. So it's just been.
That's kind of like our El Nino winters. We get a lot of cloudy days and rainy days, and we never see the sun.
Yeah, it's definitely been like that. So
Because the subtropical jet, you'll get more of that cloudy conditions.
yeah.
It's been pretty quiet up here.
Yeah.
Well, give it a couple weeks and that'll probably change, you know. That's like they
So-
say. That's like they say if you don't like the weather here in Georgia, just wait a week. It'll change.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Up
yeah.
here, you can get sunburn and frostbite in the same day.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious.
Oh man. I don't know if I want to.
Down here, you can get sunburned, and then 1/10 of a chance of a hurricane 8 months of the year.
Turn your heat on in the morning, turn your air conditioning on during the day, and turn the heat on again at night.
Yep.
It's too
That's
too
how it
much
is here
too
in
much back
January.
and forth.
Yep.
Too much back and forth for me. Oh man. What a week though it has been, you know? Like,
Yeah. It's been a crazy week, man.
yeah. I mean, basically this whole hurricane just kind of came out of nothing,
It did.
you know? Came out of a blob of moisture
In a big
in the
convection.
Caribbean, and then it just blew up into a Category 5 hurricane, you know? So, very, very interesting.
It's
Yeah,
getting pretty late in the season.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly.
When I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh, it won't do much. It's late, you know. It'll be maybe a Cat 3, and then the next thing you know, it's a Cat 5, and you're just going, what happened?"
It's called no other storms have gone through the Caribbean this year,
Right?
you know? It's months and months and months of sunlight heating those ocean waters and
Right.
and you know, no shear to inhibit its development at all. So it was just the timing
Yeah.
and the availability and
Right.
the placement and stuff like that. Just everything came
Yeah.
together.
What-
Yep.
Usually,
So-
when we get our first like big cold front, like sub 70s during the day, that usually hinders development down in the Caribbean.
Yeah, which is basically what this system that's kind of coming through now is really the first big, in a sense, decent push of
Colder air.
air. Yeah, getting all the way down
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
Florida.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
what
it's
actually
gonna be nice tomorrow.
where the front actually clears all the way through Florida and stuff like that. You know.
First time this year, and
So-
just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
Always.
Hey, I remember
Yeah.
some Halloweens growing up in near Buffalo, New York, where we would have a foot of snow on the ground
Oh yeah. I
and
can
go
believe it.
trick or treating in the snow. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
when
said
we
the other
lived
day,
up in Indiana, it was like that. The kids were like, "How are we going trick or treating?" I was like, "You're walking. It's
Yeah.
no, it's okay."
get your snow boots on.
When I go trick or
Exactly.
treating, I want to go as Batman, but not Batman wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
That's right.
We've had white Halloweens and green Christmases though before, so
Yeah.
it's not unheard of for us to get snow in
Mhm.
October.
Yeah,
It
especially
won't
up
be
there in
this
Wisconsin.
October, but it can happen.
Yep. Well,
I mean, just a few weeks ago, it was 80 degrees.
If
I
you get
know.
frost on, if you get frost on Christmas, is it considered a blue Christmas?
Instead of a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that's a good question.
Yeah.
well, I
I
appreciate
know what our percentage chance is of a white Christmas is up here.
what, 30?
No,
Higher.
in my area, it's almost half. It's about
Wow.
47-48%.
Ah, okay.
That's
And the
pretty good.
definition of a white Christmas would be at least 1 inch
1
of
inch.
measurable snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Our percentage is probably like 0.5% down here
Yeah.
of getting a white Christmas.
Ours is -1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, ours is way out there.
Yeah.
I mean, think of last year though, guys. Last winter, you know,
crazy one.
New Orleans getting 9 inches
Yep.
of snow.
Pensacola
Pensacola,
got
you know,
Yeah.
gets half a foot. You know, so it could happen. It could happen. Man, that was wild. I hope that we get some live streams to get to talk about this winter like that together.
Yeah.
Like that, those are going to be some fun live streams, you know, pulling up some traffic cameras and stuff like that and be like, "Can you believe this is
Yeah,
going on?"
yeah.
So,
You know what
Well-
I remember very well, Joey? I remember a few years back you went snow chasing up in Ohio with, I forgot his name. I think it was
Logan Poole.
something.
Logan Poole,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was a memorable one because then once we were coming back, me and my brother, I think he had driven back separately or flown back or something like that. I don't remember. But we were
Yeah.
coming back through Kentucky, and some of those backcountry roads were just completely iced over, and we got on this one road, and we could not get up the hill. So I'm like, okay, we got to turn around here on this little country road and
Yeah.
hope we don't slide off the mountain. And we made it, you know, live to tell
That's
the tale.
good.
So,
Yeah.
but those are gonna be some fun live streams we're gonna have. So
See if Rob probably
Well-
remembers how I measure snow.
Yeah. The new Glare Spotted Cow.
Well, I know December 19th we'll
remember
be
that one.
arriving from Texas to northern Indiana. So I'm hoping, got my fingers crossed, there will be some kind of snowstorm going on.
yeah,
So
you
basically, Dan,
get
you want no
something.
less than 2 cans.
Well, yeah, at least
Yeah.
not at once, right?
Right.
So yeah, but this will probably be our last live stream here, covering Mellissa. We'll see if we get another storm here before November 30th. Hopefully
Yeah.
not though. I think we
Yeah,
could all
hopefully not.
just kind of use a break in that regards and move on to some different kind of weather. But appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. And guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, connect with us on our socials. We'd love to get to connect with you guys. Dan, Mellissa, Rob, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on the live stream. And thank all of you for tuning in and watching our live streams. We really do appreciate you guys, joining us and just connecting with us here. So we'll see you guys on the next live stream. Stay safe out there. Be praying for Jamaica. We'll keep posting updates on our Facebook page as we receive them. Have a great evening, guys, and God bless. Stay safe out there.